Hi, my name is Armando Fox. I am a computer science professor whose research is on computer science education and software engineering. I'm going to tell you about a transformational opportunity for Berkeley engineering in the form of computer-based testing. Let's get right into it with an example of what we mean when we talk about bringing computer-based testing to Cal. This student is taking an online exam in their browser, and the exam question asks them to write a regular expression to pick out only the digits in each string of characters. The student enters their proposed solution, which I'm sure you'll recognize from when you studied this topic, but when the student clicks Save and Grade, alas, their answer is wrong. If they scroll down, they see feedback showing that their answer works for 2 of the 3 cases, but not the 3rd case, and the student can see the correct solution. On a regular exam, the student would simply miss this question. But what if we could instead give the student a new, different question that calls for the same skills but requires a different answer? Or we might ask the student to create a program that draws these beautiful recursive figures called fractals. Each student can be given a slightly different problem generated randomly at the moment that particular student takes the exam. In each of these cases, the instructor didn't just author an exam question, but a question generator that creates new question variants on demand and gives the student immediate feedback on their answer. That's the key idea, from questions to question generators. So what could you do if you had question generators? If administering exams is easy because every exam is slightly different, you can administer them more frequently. You can give many short quizzes instead of a few killer exams, which is great for student wellness and stress reduction. But at the University of Illinois, where they've been doing this for several years, they found that it also leads to better retention. In addition to fewer D's and F's at the end of the course, they had significantly more A's at the end of the course. It removes incentives for students who might be tempted to cheat. If you know the person next to you has an exam slightly different from yours, copying the answers doesn't make any difference. You still have to know how to solve the questions. In fact, second chance exams for when students do have a bad day become much easier to administer, as do makeup exams. You can even give students the opportunity to practice in advance by allowing them to use the same question generators on homework assignments. What all of these have in common is proficiency-based learning, allowing students to practice material repeatedly until they master it. We say that repeated practice shifts the curve towards student proficiency, and that's good for equity because students who come in with variable preparation will use varying amounts of practice using the question generators and get to a point where, in principle, everybody should be able to get an A in that course. We started piloting this with partners at Cal State Long Beach and El Camino College in the LA area, and we initially expected that 2 to 3 courses would be sufficient for a pilot. In fact, we have been working on creating content for 6 courses in engineering. We expected that we might write 50 or so question generators for those courses. In fact, we've created over 190. We thought a small dry run of a quiz or an exam would be ambitious over the summer. In fact, we've run a midterm with over 1,100 students taking the exam remotely and reacting very positively to the experience. And where we thought 6 to 10 student teachers might sign up to learn how to create content in this system, we've had over 30 of some of our best. The support for the pilot program began with Vice Chancellor for Undergraduate Education, Kathy Koshland, who gave us some small seed funds to get the project started. And when the EECS department set up a fund to improve remote instruction and resiliency, we were able to use some of those funds as well. That allowed us to attract funds from the California Governor's Office in the form of a new program called the California Education Learning Lab. And right now, we're actively seeking support to move beyond the pilot phase of this program. Our transformational vision is for a center focused on proficiency-based learning for both exams and homeworks. It's difficult for instructors to learn to think in terms of creating question generators, and for the student teachers who help us develop our exams to learn how to develop essentially automatic question generators that will work within this system. We have to integrate with other student-facing systems, such as course enrollments, to integrate with systems that understand students with disabilities, who, for example, may be allotted extra time on an exam. And someday, when we're allowed to have nice things again and be back on campus, we're hoping to open testing centers with trained proctors so that on-campus exams can work alongside remote exams. We think this is a transformational opportunity for UC Berkeley, and on behalf of my co-PIs and the very talented students who are helping getting us off the ground, I look forward to your support on this very important campus effort.